Gotcha. So how long did it take you to build this one?
A little over 2 years. Yeah, and then we're just about to complete the 601.
Yeah.
XLB. And then I just got a Bearhawk delivered. So this is my new project, the Bearhawk 4 plates.
Cool.
And that's the only reason I'm selling this one.
Too many toys and not enough space. I get it. I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
Now what's this one? Is this a...
This is a Zenith.
Zenith, okay.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Yeah, guys, a couple guys I talked to through Facebook basically have Zeniths. So I was looking at like an RV12 with some buddies, and basically they were like, oh, get a Zenith, it's much cheaper.
Cheaper.
You know, handles basically the same, if you know.
Same performance.
Right, and then you know, various engines opposed to just the Rotex.
Yep, this has the Jabiru 3300.
Yep. Now, you built this one from scratch, or?
So I got this project started from another guy that used to be a member here, moved to South Carolina. He got older. Zenith issued him like an AD in experimental world. And what that meant was the plane had to be ripped apart, disassembled, all the issues that they wanted addressed. So pretty much disassemble, rebuild the plane, and then put it back together. And basically, so that's what I did.
Basically, it was a spar thing in the wings, right? For the making an XLB.
Right. So that's what this is. This is a.
Done a little bit of research. It's just a matter of
XLB,
seeing one. Yep.
XLB 650. They're the same planes. You know, the slight differences are the flying rudder on the 650 is slightly different, but other than that, the only other difference is they change the angle of incidence on the wing slightly, just to give it a more nose down when it comes into land. But performance-wise, it doesn't make any difference.
Cool. I get to see all kinds of things today I didn't expect to see.
Yeah, and this is my hangar partner, his Thunder Gull. So, yeah.
Cool. Yeah, like I said, I've been flying the Foxbat. I finished up in the Foxbat.
Okay.
I flew yesterday a little bit, a little rusty, and but it was nice to get in the air.
Yeah.
So this is just the regular 701 or the stall version?
This is a Zenith 750 stall.
750 stall. All right, because it's got the front.
So yeah, front leading edge slats. And you can tell the difference between the 750 and the 701s by the back windows.
Okay.
The 701s don't have any back windows. 750s have bucket seats, and the 701 has a bench seat. The 750s have the back storage area.
Yep.
And the 701s just have a little shelf kind of thing.
Yep. Well, especially when you get the grass strip here, it's nice to get off the ground earlier and quicker with this, from what I've seen in other videos. And
yeah. I mean, I'd flown a Zenith 750 Cruiser as well. The 750 Cruisers, they do pretty good as well. They're off the ground quick. They can come in and land.
Now, did you go with a Jabiru engine in this one too? Or?
No, this is a Corvair engine.
Gotcha.
This is a William Wynn Corvair engine. 2850cc. They're a 6-cylinder, horizontally opposed, air-cooled engine.
Yep.
This particular one has a draw-through turbocharger system, which really increases the performance. Typical engine, naturally aspirated, it's 112 horsepower. This is closer to 150 horsepower.
Nice.
Provides a lot of added performance on the ground, but also up at altitude. In a way, it simplifies operation because it brings the atmosphere with it. the turbo supplies the atmosphere. So you set your mixture once pretty much, and you fly. You're not
Close the controlling it all the time.
Right.
Rebalancing.
So if you set 3,000 RPM and you maintain 3,000 RPM or certain manifold pressure, so if you set 30 inches of manifold pressure and you fly at 30 inches of manifold pressure, you're tuning to 30 inches of manifold pressure, and that's it. As long as you keep 30 inches of manifold pressure, you continue that same mixture.
Yep. And how long did it take you to build this one?
This one took me about two and a half years, probably, setting down. You know, by the time, I'd say about 2 years to finish it, but, you know, then building, you know, an experimental aircraft, you always have little squawks, little things you have to, you know, just, your first flight is nowhere as near your last tinkering.
Right.
You know, you're
got to keep tweaking it, adjusting.
You're always doing stuff. And, you know, once you get it dialed in, then it's pretty, you know, pretty set. So at this point, that's where this plane is. You know, and it's got around 160, 170 hour, I don't know, something like that, 160, 170, somewhere in that area.
Now you're using aviation fuel or regular gas in it? Or switch back and forth?
Yeah, I use a little of both. You know, in the wintertime, I run some 91 octane Stewart's, you know, non-ethanol fuel. Summertime, super hot weather, risk of detonation is higher, so, you know, you have to just be more cautious running the lower octane fuel.
Yeah, well, and the different ones I've used, the guys have used either strictly, you know, gas from the gas station or aviation fuel.
Yeah, this isn't, you know, isn't that picky.
Right. That's what the guy in the pipper stall that I trained in, he would use basically gas from the gas station. And then the Foxback guys were like, no, we're just going to use, you know, the 100 from the pumps at the airport. We're not going to worry about contamination and
there's a lot of benefits.
Else.
There's a lot of benefits to just running the 100 low lead. 100 low lead is much more stable.
Right.
It's got a better shelf life, and quality control is better.
Yeah.
And the other thing is all the other fuels at the pumps have ethanol in them. So, you know, I have a process. I pump 5 gallons of fuel in my truck before I start filling any containers to bring to the plane.
Get the possible contaminants out of the way first. And
right.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a check on yourself. It's a good way to do it.
By the time you do all that, it doesn't really save you anything. It's just sometimes more convenient.
Right.
It burns cleaner. That's
right.
You know, that's the only downfall to the 100 low lead is this engine doesn't need the lead. So the lead is just a contaminant in the engine that, you know, can foul your plugs, can build up on your valves, can cause a lot of other problems. So Corvair engines call out running, the program by William Wynn calls out running Declan. Declan's a lead scavenging additive, and it changes the properties of the lead once it's burnt to a lead phosphate, which is a white powdery dust that doesn't really solidify on all of the components in the engine. And that helps eliminate your buildup and fouling plugs. The other, you know, things that we do to eliminate that or reduce the risk of fouling is we run an iridium thin wire spark plug, which has a lot less surface area to get lead buildup on. So that also helps out.
And what do you get roughly per gallon, per hour, I should say?
It all depends. The turbocharger system has the ability to save you some fuel or burn you a lot more fuel.
Mhm.
So it depends how hard you push it. You know, my typical cruise, I burn around 7 gallons an hour. On my calculations, I calculate 7.5 gallons per hour just to give myself a reserve.
Little cushion. Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. Alright. Let's look at it.
Inside,
Kind of going to
I have a full touchscreen glass panel.
Mm-hmm.
It's a GRT unit. Also has GRT engine information system that feeds into the ethos unit. So you have graphical displays as well as numbers on the EIS. It's got a Garmin comm radio and it's got a Garmin transponder. It's got ADS-B in and out. It's got a Rotec throttle body injection system, which has a little bit different, it's a slide type throttle body, and it's got a primer system, which is the far lever over on the right.
Okay.
And you pull that out for starting and it primes while you're cranking it over, and that system works really well. I didn't have any problems starting in the cold over the winter, which previously with the MA3 carb that I used to run was always a problem.
Yeah, that's nice.
Corvairs run dual ignition coils and one single set of spark plugs, so one spark plug per cylinder.
Mm-hmm.
But the ability to feed from 2 separate ignition sources, so it's got 2 separate signals and coils. So the chance of having 2 ignition coils or 2 ignition separate systems fail is very unlikely. So it's a good system. Works well.
It looks very roomy too.
Yep, this, I want to say off memory, with the bubble doors at the shoulders is 44 inches, which is like as wide or wider than a 182.
Right.
So it's a very roomy cockpit.
Yep.
Yeah, I've flown down to Florida with it. I've taken, I've had the back loaded up, and it handles everything really well.
Cool. Cool.
Yeah, plane flies well, it flies hands off. It's got electric trim and electric flaps, and that's all controlled off of the joystick.
Yep. I like the simple colors, just the the one with the two-tone in the front, and then just the regular aluminum look.
Yep.
Keeps it simple.
Vinyl wrap on the red color, and this is also a vinyl.
Mm-hmm. Cool. All right, I'm going to end it there.